G'day there guys, it's your boy Markee, back at it again with another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. Hope you guys are ready to be malicious and compliant, because we're about to go ruining some businesses and lives of people. You want every email that's addressed to you to arrive at your inbox? You got it, pal. Just happened. My bosses and I are still laughing. We are a small IT company. We manage quite a few clients though. This one gentleman and one of our busier client sites says that he's tired of being told his emails never arrived to him. We look it up and yes, a couple of legitimate emails got tangled up in the spam filter. No big deal. We whitelist the sender and release the message. No, not good enough for this guy. He calls back screaming, "I order you to let any email addressed to me come to my inbox." I advise him that I'm going to have to transfer him to IT security, and he's going to have to, on a recorded line, say he understands and accepts responsibility for yada yada yada. See, I did that because these guys get thousands of spam emails a day. A while back, several folks, this guy included, decided to give their email addresses and passwords to some unsavory website, then did it again and again and again. So now they easily get 15 to 20 plus messages an hour to the entire organization. So he accepts, saying he just wants all emails to go to him. We allow all messages to him to bypass the spam filter. 3 hours later, he has over 100 no emails, and they keep coming in. He calls back furious, asking why his spam filter isn't working. "Sir, you asked that all emails addressed to you arrive at your inbox." So, update. Right around 4:45 PM today, he's calling our office and the calls get routed to me since I own the ticket. He is livid, shouting so loud my co-workers on the opposite side of the room can hear him. "Whatever you did to my email, I want it put back to the way it was. You fucked up my email, and now I can't get any work done because my stupid notifications are going off every second." I calmly respond, "Absolutely, I'll go ahead and turn on your spam filtering back on, and all these emails will stop." "Good, it's what you should have done in the first place." At the end of it all, nothing changed, and he's happy. God, I love IT work. Edit 2. To the few of you who have, and the many more that will, seeing as how this has picked up a little bit more steam than I was expected, commented saying that I should be fired, chill. I'm lucky enough to be at a place that values their employees enough to know that we do not deserve the kind of verbal abuse this guy slings out. A lot of jobs I've been at would have handed me my walking papers the moment I didn't immediately suck this dude up to climax before finding out what his name was. Between me and the security team, we told him at least 4 times that this exact thing would happen, and he said on a recorded line, "I don't care." So I take care of my customers and my bosses enable me to do a good dang job. I believe that's why our company is experiencing very good growth right now, so relax. Final edit. I had to. I logged into our system this morning from my home and listened to the recording. It's glorious. Here is some highlights. So this is between security and client. Security goes, "So, OP tells me you're looking to turn off the spam filter." Client, "I don't even get spam. I'm paying you people for something I don't need." "It's not an added cost, but you're not getting spam because you have a spam filter. If you turn that off, you're gonna get flooded with spam emails." "I don't care. I've given you guys an order, and I expect it to be done." Security like, "I just need you to be aware that without the spam filter, you're open to getting every spam email that comes to you, some of which may be malicious and could open you up to viruses, malware, and all sorts of software that could compromise your entire network. By going against our suggestions, you understand that our company cannot be held liable for any malicious software that makes it onto your network, infects any of your systems, or causes any system downtime, and that you are claiming sole responsibility for that. Do you understand this?" "Yeah, whatever, just get it done so that I can get off this call." "Sir, I really need you to reiterate how much we cannot recommend this action. You're gonna get 'I don't care, do what I tell you.'" "Okay, I'll have OP remove you from the default spam rule, and you'll start receiving any email sent to you. Again, it's gonna be a lot. The spam filter actually does catch a lot of spam. I don't care. Just do it. Nike. Okay, then, thank you. Have a good day. Click. Oh, I love this story. That's a quality story. What an insane man. His company is like going to melt if he lets that stuff through. It's like the sole reason you have spam filters. Jesus. Tell me what you guys think of this insane man. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. Next story. My bully. When I was 8 years old, my dad and brothers moved across the country. My brothers started high school while my dad started a new job. My mum and I stayed back so she could sell our house before we moved in to join them. During this time, my dad asked my uncle to keep an eye out on my mum and I. While selling the house, we moved in with my uncle and his family. It was in a different area, so I had to go to a different school where I didn't know anyone. I'm having a really hard time reading this, I don't know why. A few weeks into the school year, and a much larger kid, 2 grades above me, decided I would be his target for the year. It started small. He would knock things out of my hands, or push me when we crossed paths. Then he started stealing things from me. I put up with it because I didn't think I had a choice at that time. I was working up the courage to fight back like my dad told me to, but this kid was huge, so my courage wasn't building fast enough. One day, I went to the bathroom during recess and ran into him in the bathroom. I knew that out of the view of the teachers, this wasn't going to be fun. As expected, he pummeled me right up until the bell rang. Unfortunately for him, he left a lot of noticeable marks on my face. I had a fat lip, a shiner, and a bloody nose. A teacher noticed this right away and sent me to the office. Once there, I was ticked and told the principal everything. He called down the bully who denied doing anything to me, ever. The principal knew he was lying, so he scheduled an appointment with both sets of parents. That night, my mum and uncle went with me and his parents went with him. Once in there, his parents constantly denied that their kid did anything and even said I was bullying him. I was 8 and could see how ridiculous that was. The principal had another meeting to be at, so he asked that we meet again the next night to resolve this. The bully's father started complaining and saying that if I bully him again, that he is okay with his son defending himself. He made a point of saying that just because you lose the fight doesn't mean you weren't the bully, which I guess is technically true, except in this situation his son was definitely the bully. No, what kind of backwards logic is that? That father is so dumb, so dumb. Everyone agreed to meet the next night, and we left the school. As we were getting into our cars, my uncle went over to the bully's father and put his arm around him. He walked him to where I assume he thought was out of sight. It wasn't. My uncle beat this guy up really badly. Jesus Christ. Then as the bully's father was laying on the ground covered in his own blood, my uncle leaned in and said something. He came back, and everyone remained silent for the rest of the night. The next day, my bully was not in class. That evening, we all went to meet up with the principal, and the bully's father looked like those UFC post-fight photos. Lumps and bruises everywhere. The principal asked what happened, and my uncle responded by saying that the bully's father was bullying him, and he defended himself. Just because he lost the fight doesn't mean he wasn't the bully. The principal took a moment, then looked at the bully's father and said, "Is that true?" The bully's father looked at the principal and said, "Yes, sir." Then he said that his son needed to say something. My bully stood up and began apologizing as he broke into tears. He confessed to everything and said that he will never bully anyone ever again. Then the father apologized for not believing me and the way he treated me. My uncle looked at the principal and I said, "I think we can accept that apology. Is there anything else?" The principal said no and let us go. For the short time I was stuck going to that school, the bully went the long way around me whenever he's seen me. Oh my god, that is metal. I can't believe someone would do that. It's like great revenge, but in all these stories, I've never heard someone taking that angle at it. Jesus. I'm gonna read another one just because I feel like it. Maliciously complied and locked my boss out of his own home. So I used to work as a property manager for a semi-large company in a small city. Among the usual duties of a PM, we were also responsible for after-hours maintenance calls. Originally, we were paid for 3 hours of overtime to cover the phone calls we answer and paid an additional $80 for any call-outs that we have attended to ourselves. The entire team rotated the phone between us, so we only had the emergency phone for 1 weekend every 2 months. The phone was an after-hours maintenance line for over 800 properties, so you can imagine how busy it would get, but the extra pay helped the blow of losing your weekend. This was not a problem until our boss wanted to crack down on overtime, stating, "I very much doubt you are working 3 hours whilst you have the emergency phone." His new rule was for each staff member to document when and who called, and you would be paid for an hour of regular time each call, but under no circumstances are you to attend any issues yourself. This includes unlocking doors for tenants who are locked out of their property. He enforced that the tenant must pay for a locksmith to attend and let themselves in. This angered many of our clients and caused us to be constantly abused over the phone by our tenants, as they had to pay $300 for a locksmith. This is where the malicious compliance began. We indeed documented all of our calls, which instead of paying each employee $100 for 3 hours, he ended up having to pay us $500 or more each weekend due to the amount of calls we would actually take. But it doesn't stop there. What I should probably mention is that our company can provide accommodation for our more higher staff at a fraction of the cost that you would normally pay. The manager in question was in such accommodation, and lo and behold, he managed to lock himself out of his apartment at 11 PM on a Friday night. Oof, big oof, huge oof. The manager's like, "Hello OP, I have locked myself out of my apartment. You need to collect the spare keys and come and unlock my door." And I'm like, "I am very sorry, manager, but I cannot do that." Excuse me, why not? "Unfortunately, you have instructed me not to attend to any call-outs under any circumstance. I can, however, send you through the number of our preferred locksmith to come let you in, ? After a few choice words, the manager hung up and phoned a locksmith. Let's just say, after he had to fork out $300 for an after-hours locksmith, he changed our ability to attend call-outs. Oh, what an idiot. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that story today. I really enjoyed making this episode. Some episodes not so much. I don't know if you can tell because I just don't like saying anything in them, but this one has been a greatly written story and I wanted to give my input. Sorry if it annoys some of you guys, but from the comments, a lot of you guys really love that, so I'm gassed up by it. Let's go. Anyway, tell me what you thought about down in the comments below. I hope you really enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.